Welcome students. So today we will cover our last class for the series video, and here we will discuss around again 10 numbers of questions. So the first question is question number 91. Okay, and the question is, dash starting method cannot be used for starting a 3-phase squirrel cage induction motor. So the motor is 3-phase squirrel cage. So motor is 3-phase squirrel cage induction motor, and it is that starting method. We have to find out the starting method, and here the methods are there: direct online method, auto transformer method, then rotor resistance method, then star delta method. Okay. So the question is, it cannot be used. Okay. So from these four options, your correct choice is rotor resistance method. Okay. In your rotor resistance method, the rotor resistance method is not used for your squirrel cage induction motor. So this is your correct choice. So the other three are: this is for squirrel cage, this is also for squirrel cage induction motor, this is also for squirrel cage induction motor, and the rotor resistance starter is only for your slip ring induction motor. Okay. So you have to remember this one. So this is required for slip ring, and these three are required for your squirrel cage induction motor. So moving to the next question, question number 92. The question is, a 3-phase induction machine, when it operating like motor, the range of slip is dash. So induction machine, it is an induction machine, and the machine is a motor. So finally it will be your induction motor. Induction motor. So for the induction motor, what is the value of slip? Okay. So slip, you have to find out the value of slip. So the slip S equal to Ns minus Nr divided by Ns, and it is expressed in a percentage. So into percentage or into 100, it will be there into 100 for finding out the percentage. So what is your Ns and Nr? Now Ns is your synchronous speed, whose value is 120 into F by P, and Nr is the rotor speed. So for the induction motor, the slip range is there, and that range of slip, the S value will be greater than or equal to your 0, and the same S value or the slip value will be less than or equal to 1. That means it will there, or the range will be from 0 to 1. So in between your 0 to 1, it will be there. So for your 0 and 1, the characteristics of the machine will also change. Okay. So if the range is less than 0, means your S value is only less than 0, then it will be treated as generator. Okay. And if S is greater than 1, it will be in the stage of braking stage. Okay, these are also two stages. You have to remember the stage. So from the four options, your option number B will be the correct choice, because for your operation of your induction motor, your slip range will vary from 0 to 1. 0 to 1 it will vary. Okay. So moving to the next question. The question is here, the average value of a sinusoidal wave is dash. So for sinusoidal wave, it will be an AC wave. The wave may be your voltage wave, that may be your current wave, whatever your choice you take. This is your time period T, and this is inset point 0, and this is half cycle. This is a full cycle. If you consider this one, this is one cycle. Okay. So for your calculation of the average value, we have to calculate the value of voltage or value of current, whatever your choice, for your one cycle. So these are the individual maximum values are there. These are the individual maximum value. Okay. So if I find out the maximum value, if you find out the maximum let I am taking the current. So your average value of current I average will be equal to your 1 by pi. This is the time period, and it will be integrated from 0 to pi sin your t dt into your I am multiplying here again I am writing is 1 by pi into your I maximum value of current into 0 to pi sin of t dt. Okay, and if you are solving this one, it will be 1 to pi, means 1 to pi I max, and integration of 0 to pi sin t dt. So integration of sin theta, you know that this is cos theta. So minus it will be your cos t, and the limit is 0 to pi. And if you solve this one, you will get your 2. Yes or no? You are solving, you can solve this one and you will get 2. So finally your I average then will be your 2 by pi and I max. This is your standard equation for your average and maximum value. And if you solve this 2 by pi, because there is in the option 2 by pi is not there. If you are solving this one, you can get 0.63. Okay, so 0.67 is there. So it is 0.63. You are getting 2 by pi. If you use the calculator, you can get 0.63. So the answer is your 0.63 maximum value. So I average equal to 0.637 into I max. Okay. So moving to the next question. So coming to question number 94, identify the incorrect statement with regards to synchronous motor. Okay, so here we have to find out the incorrect statement about the synchronous motor. Okay, so the statements are: the field winding is placed on the rotor. The field winding is placed on the rotor. Yes, this is correct statement. It is a self-starting machine. It is a self-starting machine, and we know that our synchronous motor is not an self-starting machine. So this is the incorrect statement. Then the armature winding is placed in the starter. Yes, in the starter its armature winding is present. So it is also a correct statement. Then it is a constant speed motor. Yes, this is operates in a synchronous speed. So here it will be a constant speed motor. So from this 4 option, your option number B will be the correct choice. This is not similar to the characteristics of your synchronous motor. Okay. So coming to next question, question number 95. The question is: dash power plant is the plant which uses a non-conventional source of energy. Okay. So non-conventional source. We are having two sources. One is conventional, another one is your conventional and non-conventional. So your conventional source, these all are traditional source. These all are traditional source from where we are getting electrical energy, like your thermal power plant, like your hydroelectric power plant, your nuclear power plant. These all are your traditional methods. So your non-conventional, these are your renewable methods. That means you can reuse or you can use the source again and again. Okay, like your solar power plant, like your wind power plant, tidal power plant. These all are called your non-conventional source of energy. So on the options here, wind, thermal, nuclear, hydro. So first option is the correct choice. The wind is your non-conventional source of energy. Okay. So moving to the next question, question number 96. Which of the following is the correct relation regarding coupled coil? So here the relations are there, and the relations are related to coupled coil. So what is your coupled coil? First one, if I am having two coil nearer to each other, if I am having two coil nearer to each other and that two coil are placed in such a way that their flux will link each coil. Means the coil, if I am saying this is coil 1 and coil 2, the flux of coil 1 is linked to coil 2. Okay. So the individual having some inductance value, that will be L1, that will be L2, and the mutual inductance value will be treated as your M. And you know that for your coupled coil, the formula is mutual inductance is equal to K into root over of L1 into L2. Okay. So M is mutual inductance, K is the coefficient of coupling. Coefficient of coupling. Okay. So K is your coefficient of coupling. So here your mutual inductance and self inductance are there. So if I will choose one by one option, so first option is M is equal to L1 plus L2 to the power half. So this one is your, but this relation is not good or it is not justified, and M is equal to L1 minus L2 half. This is also not justified, because whatever the value of your coefficient of coupling, the value of K will lies in between 0 and 1. The value of K will lies in between 0 and 1, and the fractional value in between 0 and 1 will related to the position of the coil. It will be the in between the distance, depending upon the distance, the value will be there. Okay. So if the value is 0, suppose the value is 0, suppose this value is 0, that means your M value will be 0. Suppose this value is 1, so M will equal to this part. So from the mathematical expression we can find that your M value will be your M value may be equal to 0, and if any fractional value will be there, then your M value must be less than your L1 and L2. Fractional value means if the K value is 0.1, 0.2, like that, and if the K value is 1, that means at that time your M is equal to root over of L1 and L2. Yes. So from these answers or from this expression we can find out that your M value must be less than with your L1 L2, and M value is equal to root over of L1 L2. Okay. So if you check that option, your third option will be correct option, then M will be greater than, it will never be greater than. Okay. So from these four options, your third option will be the correct choice. Okay. So moving to the next question. So the question is the least calorific value of the fuel. Okay. So the calorific value, there are fuels are there. Your calorific value of fuel indicate the heat produced from the fuel. Okay. So this is a silly question. You can say blindly, or you can say by seeing the options, you can say the least calorific value means it will be wood. Okay. Because by burning a specific amount of wood, whatever the amount of heat will generate, it will be very, very less. And the LPG, kerosene and hydrogen, these all are your having some higher calorific value than your wood. So if I say what are the calorific value of your wood, it will be around 17 kilojoule, okay, per kg. And for the calorific value of your LPG, it is around your 50. LPG calorific value is around 50 kilojoule per kg. And for your kerosene, its value is around 40 kilojoule. Yes, 40 kilojoule per kg. And for your hydrogen, this is having highest calorific value. So for hydrogen, its value is around 1.5 lakhs. joule per kg. So these are the values you have. It is not required to remember all these values, but as the question asks that what is the least calorific value, wood is the least calorific value, and the highest calorific value will be your hydrogen. Okay. Question number 98. Two decimal coil A and B of 1000 turn in the connected in parallel and in such a way that your 80% of your flux produced by one coil link with other. Okay. And the question is, if the current of 5 ampere flowing in the coil A and it produces a flux of 0.5 milliweber, then what is the flux produced in coil B? So two coils are in parallel. So let me draw the coil. Looking the question, you have seen that, or you will think that it's a big question, but the question is simple question is there, and the answer you can get, it is a simple answer also. Let it be coil A and coil B. The turn are same, N1 and N2 are same, 1000 turn, and the 50% of the flux is being linked. That means you can say it is your flux linkage is equal to, sorry, not 50%, this is 80%. So it will be your 0.8. So 80% of the flux is being linked, and secondary is your the amount of flux linkage with your coil B. So the formula for is, and phi A is also given. Phi A is given. This is your phi A. So your phi B with respect to phi A is equal to the amount of linkage. It is your 0.8. So if you want to find out the phi B value, your phi B value will be your 0.8 into your phi A value, and the phi A value is there 0.8 into phi A value is 0.05 milliweber. If we convert that milliweber into weber, what is? It is 0.05 into 10 to the power minus 3 weber. Okay, your milli means 10 to the power minus 3. If you solve this one, you are getting your 85, it is 40, so it will be 0.04 into same thing, it is your 10 to the power minus 3 weber. Okay, but the options are your milliweber. So if we convert the 10 to the minus 3 to milli, your answer will be your 0.04 milliweber. Okay, so this will be your phi B. So from these four options, your option number A is your correct choice. Okay, so moving to the next question. Question number 99. Identify the machine shown in figure. Okay, so this is one diagram where your armature is there, load is there, and windings are there, and the options are, these are for the option. So looking the diagram, we can understood that it is your armature and EG EMF generated. Okay, that means it is basically a generator. Okay, then there are two windings. It is your field winding, and this is your field winding, and this is your armature series winding. These both are field winding. This is shunt field, and this is your series field. So the series field winding is in series with your armature. This is your armature, and the shunt field winding is parallel to the both the winding. So this is basically your DC long shunt compound generator. In your DC long shunt compound generator, your shunt field winding is kept parallel to your both series field winding as well as your armature winding. This diagram you have to remember. In the next video, I will make one video upon that, where your different types of DC motors will be there. Okay, DC motor. Okay, DC motor, only the constructions are there and the diagrams will be there. so that you can identify the types of the motor. Okay, so this was the last question. Okay, so question number 100. If N is the linkage flux, then the linkage flux per unit current. Okay, so it is asked to find out the linkage flux per unit current. Okay, what is the value? Okay, simple question. Okay, so first before that we have to know what is the linkage flux. Linkage flux means, if I will make a diagram like that, if I am having a coil A and another coil is placed here, this is coil B. So, and I have applied here the supply and the current is here I. So, due to that current, some amount of flux will be there in your coil A. In your coil A, some amount of flux will be there, and some amount of flux will link to the secondary coil, is linked to the nearby coil. Okay, some amount of flux will be there in your coil B also. That flux is known as your linkage flux. It will just link. It will just link. Like we are saying a link road, like that. The flux is getting linked to the secondary. We have not given any supply here. We have not given any supply here. We have given only the supply here. What is the supply we have given here? But some amount of flux is being linked here. That is called your linkage flux. So the linkage flux, basically we are saying N phi or phi N, whatever, and the current value is I. So here the linkage flux is given shown in your N. So this will be your nothing but this will only the inductance L. This is your inductance L. Okay. So from these 4 answer, your option number A is the correct choice. Okay. So thank you. With that we have concluded our 100 number of questions, and I hope my teaching will be beneficial for you to understand these questions and to solve the question in simple manner. Okay, and be with us so that we can have interaction with you, and we will upload new videos with solving new questions and some formulas also. And one thing that some queries are there, sir please prepare the videos of basic electrical, sir prepare the videos from resistance, inductance, these all are some queries. And my students are also saying that sir prepare the class videos, means whatever the classes we are taking in the college, whatever the classes we are covering in the syllabus, they are also saying that sir please cover up this video in your cover up the videos in your classes. Okay, so I will try this one. So basically I am just trying to explain you the different simple formulas, different question and answers, so that it will be easy for you to remember. Okay, and it will enhance your career also. So thank you. Be with us.